Me watching this show with this, oh my god, Ramet. Hi everyone, this is May and welcome again to my channel Fanitation. So I'm back with another review, this time of Buang or Lasso for a Swan. It is marketed under the English title Fallen Angel. It stars James Jirayu and Kimberley and Tiamsiri. It was first broadcast in 2017 and it has a total of 12 episodes. This lakon was originally meant to profile Kimberley, just as Neng Nai Wang was meant to profile Yaya. So James, is just the vase to put the flowers in. But because a lot of the fans liked him in these shows, it really added to his fame. The storyline is based around Kimmy's character, Pim Lapat. She's very spoiled, she has a perfect life, and she is a supermodel. She falls from grace after her father passes away, leaving her in great debt. To get money, she naively enters into a scheme to steal some information from James' character Ramet. Now Ramet owns Hotel Jarawi in Chiang Mai. So she betrays him, he gets very butthurt, and he comes up with this brilliant scheme to punish her while keeping her close. Because she has integrity and she's such a good person at heart, she will overcome all her challenges and she will triumph over her evil stepmother, played by the most gorgeous Binam Tip. So when Pim becomes a waitress in Ramet's hotel, initially she clashes with all the working staff because she's this really stuck-up brat. But of course, she makes friends and in the process, she becomes a better person. And then of course, she and Ramet will resolve everything and they'll live happily ever after. As you can probably tell from my tone, I was not impressed with this drama. So this is going to be a short video because I don't have that much to say about it. On my scale of 1 to 10 of James' shows, 1 being the one I like the most and 10 being the one I like the least, Buang unfortunately ranks at number 9, and I will explain quite briefly why this is so. I said previously in my review of Neng Nai Wang how much I disliked Neng. Now in this show, I also have problems with Ramet's character. Maybe on the surface, Ramet doesn't come across as a male chauvinist pig the way Neng does. And I'm not sure if it's better to be openly MCP or whether it's worse to be a closet MCP. So on the surface, he's very gentle, he's very good to his staff, good to his sister. But his treatment of Pim is really warped. The name of this show is called Lasso for a Swan, and it is obvious that Kimmy's character Pim is the swan. So Ramet is the lasso. It's kind of disturbing. He wants to teach her a lesson for being dishonest, but at the same time he wants to keep her close to himself for very selfish reasons because he wants to court her. The balance of power is completely off. He has all the power because she owes him, and in a sense he uses this to mold her into the woman he thinks she is or whom he thinks she can be. Who died and made you king? Would you like a crown and sash to go with that? So Ramet's character really annoyed me. I don't watch a lot of Thai dramas. Most of the ones that I watch are James shows. The shows that come out of Channel 3 I think tend to be a little bit more conservative and portray a certain idealistic view of what the powers that be want to show. Many of these tropes of men teaching women a lesson, that kind of thing, don't sit well with me because I have a very strong feminist streak. But I know that sometimes watching this kind of shows requires you to suspend disbelief, and sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't. So for Ramet, do you want to be Pim's lover or do you want to be her father? If my husband ever tried to school me like that, he'd be out on his ass in 5 seconds. But I guess many lakon watching fans don't get as annoyed with this kind of character as I do, because when I read some of the reviews or discussions online, people were like, oh, Pim is so beautiful and Ramet is so handsome and they make goo eyes at each other and they're perfect together. And here's me watching this show with this, oh my god, Ramet, like, get out of my face. But if we talk about acting, I had no problems with James' acting. I thought it was fine. Same with Kimmy. I actually thought that she acted very well. She made Pim very believable. You could look at her character growth. One of the significant symbols associated with her character in the show made absolutely no sense. Although she loses all her money, she still keeps this diamond brooch of a swan that her father gave to her because it's symbolic of her character and that kind of thing. She's supposed to be really poor and she's serving food in a restaurant to pay off this giant debt to Ramet. So what would a normal person do? You would keep that thing away in the safest place you can think of, right? But no, she wears this ginormous brooch on her waitress outfit every day in broad daylight. You are just asking to be robbed or for people to think that you are insincere because you are down on your luck and flashing this giant diamond brooch. So this is one of those things that made it very annoying because it was so obvious that the brooch was used just so it could be a convenient device that they could hang the story on. But it doesn't make any sense. My other problem is that the story was so predictable. You could see what was coming from a mile away with your hands over your ears and your eyes closed. Because every time there was a little twist to the story, you could tell what was coming up. You knew she was going to get into trouble. You knew that she was going to be found out. You knew that she's going to fight with her friends, but eventually make up. There was absolutely nothing surprising in this show. Now, James and Kimmy, they look nice because their heights work well together. And in the early scenes where he's courting her before the betrayal, sure, the scenes are quite nice and quite sweet. But it's like a bottle of soda. You open it, the bubbles pop out, and then that's it. It just fizzled out. So in the end, how do I really feel about Buang? Was it really bad? Well, for me, it was worse than bad. It was boring. When I watched it, unlike other lakons where, I want to watch the next episode, I could take long periods between episodes because I was really not interested in what happened to the characters because I already knew what was going to happen to them. Again, I watched this show right to the end out of duty as a James G fan. The things I do for James Jirayu. That sounds like a jingle. So again, I need to tell everybody this is really my subjective view and all of us will look at lakons in a very different way based on our own mindset. I know that many people love these rom-coms and don't really have problems with some of the plot points, but this was definitely not my cup of tea. So I finished reviewing 7 out of 10 of James' dramas. I have 3 left and in alphabetical order, they are Game Saneha, Romcom and Nung Dao Fadil. So the 3 places left are 1, 3 and 10. Would anyone like to guess where these dramas are going to place in my list? I have a lot to say about both the best and the worst. So hopefully I will be able to do one quickly. If you've liked my video, please click the like button and subscribe. And if you have views that you want to share with me, please drop them in the comments below. Till next time, take care and stay safe everyone. Bye!